To remember that you're known to God by name. One of the three things that we see about these anonymous kind of disciples, James the Less, Simon the Zealot, and Thaddeus, one thing that we do know about them is their name, right? Their names. We know their names. And there's something about someone knowing your name. The first time that you meet someone, you normally exchange names with one another. Why? Because that's how you get to know someone. That's where significance comes from, when someone recognizes your name. However, it's important to realize when it comes to the work of God's kingdom and serving God in some capacity with our lives, you may go through your whole life and other people may never know your name. Many people today are serving the Lord, they're serving their families, they're doing the work of God behind the scenes, they're giving cups of cold water in Jesus' name to the needy, they're lovingly caring for hurting people, and no one ever sees them, no one ever knows their name. They're in the shadows, they're in the background of the work of God, and no one knows their name, but God knows their name. And if you're one of those people that are serving God in the background and maybe no one knows about what you're doing, serving God, serving other people in some manner, can I remind you today, you're not unknown to God, you're known by God. As surely as the Lord knew James the Less, and as surely as the Lord knew Simon the Zealot, called him by name, and as surely as the Lord knew and called Thaddeus by name, God knows your name. You may be unknown to the world, but you're never unknown to God. You're never unknown to God. Isaiah 43:1 says, "But now the Lord who created you, O Israel, says, don't be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I have called you." How? By name. You are mine. John chapter 10, as Jesus is talking about his ministry as the good shepherd, says, "But the one who enters the gate is the shepherd of the sheep," talking about himself. The gatekeeper opens the door for him, and the sheep recognize his voice and come to him. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. So let's start today. What do we learn from these three anonymous kind of disciples? What do we learn from them? We understand that everybody has a purpose. You have a purpose from God. And if you don't fulfill your part, the church will miss part of what it needs, because you bring something special that only you can bring to the life of God's work. And you have this special purpose, and God knows you by name.